Hey everyone, Michael B. the Game Genie here, and I'm doing a tag video. Hey, how fun is that? This brings me back to my very early days on YouTube when I first started, and anybody who followed me back then would remember pretty much all I did was response videos. I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do on my channel at the time. I was just so enthralled by the fact that I could reach out, send video responses, and get responses from some of the people that I was a major fan of on YouTube. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Unfortunately, we don't have video responses anymore, and it really sucks, and a lot of people blame Google, but I don't really know if it's Google's fault. I think people abused it. I mean, it's true people abused it. People were doing videos that weren't video responses. That's what they were tagging in there. So the angry video game nerd would put up a video about something, and of course that's going to get, like, you know, hundreds and thousands of views or millions of views, and people were tagging video responses that had nothing to do with it. They were just trying to kind of spam the video responses to get views for their videos. So I don't know if it's Google Plus's fault or our fault for doing stupid things like that. Anyways, we don't have video responses anymore. Hopefully they come back. I know that Google Plus, you can link your video to a comments, and you know what, that's kind of getting spam too, so God only knows how long that's going to last. Anyways, completely off on a tangent, I'm here to do a tag video. So I've been tagged by my really good friend, Ed T1138. Ed is responding to the original tag video set up by Retro Rewinder, who's a really cool guy too, so everybody please go check those guys out. They're both really awesome. Anyways, I've been asked 3 questions, and it's been a while since I watched a video from when I recorded this, so I hope I get the questions right. Anyways, the first question was, what game or something in your collection, I can't remember exactly what it was, would you like to have complete in box? Well, game-wise, I'm not really a complete in box collector. I actually don't really care if I have something complete in box, unless it comes in some kind of clamshell case or jewel case. Then I'm a little nuts about it, because I don't want the cartridge by itself like Genesis. I hate having Genesis games that are loose, so much so that I actually have a surplus of empty Genesis cases, and if I do pick up a game loose that I really want the case for, I'll just print off a case from the cover project and make it myself. So it's not super important that I get a Genesis game complete, but if I do get a Genesis game loose, I do complete it. So, sort of. Anyways, I'm going nuts here. So, going back to games that I'd like to have complete, there's only one game, really, for my beloved Nintendo Entertainment System that I can think of that I don't have, but I would love to have box complete. And it's for an entirely different reason. That's The Legend of Zelda. And it's the only game in the Legend of Zelda series that I don't have complete. So I'd love to get the box, I'd love to get the manual, I'd love to have that piece just because I have every single other game in the series complete. Why? Is it because I'm an OCD Zelda collector? No, it's because I'm a weird kid that at the tender age of 10, 11 years old, I started collecting. And what I mean by that is, if I got a system or a game at that point, I kept the box, I kept the manual, I kept everything. I kept everything I had as a kid, outside of when I was really young when I first got my Nintendo. So I'd love to have The Legend of Zelda. Now, while I may not be a box game collector, I certainly am a box system collector. I hate having systems without the boxes. And one system that's very important to me that I have, but unfortunately I don't have the box for, is the Turbo Duo. Now, I do have a Turbo Graphics 16 complete in box, but I don't have the Turbo Duo. And as most people know, Turbo Duo by itself could run anywhere from $250 to $500. When I really started getting back into collecting, when I was buying stuff off eBay, I never bought a box Turbo Duo because they were $500 at the time, and that just seemed like too much. Kind of kicking myself now compared to how much they go, but that's something I'd really love to have, but I'm not willing to go above and beyond to get it. Anyways, went way too long with that question. Next up is, what's your favorite kind of potato chip, or what's your favorite flavor? I'm a big guy, so it might be hard to believe this. I actually don't like potato chips. I've got a weird thing about having my fingers kind of greasy or dirty, and it actually goes back to the Super Nintendo, because if anybody's actually ever played with the Super Nintendo, you know that if your fingers are a little bit greasy, that controller can be really slippery at times. It used to drive me nuts when friends would come over, and I used to think it was disrespectful if they were eating chips and they'd just mangle your controller, get crumbs in it, and greasy, so Anyways, I've got this fixation now that I hate having greasy fingers or dirty fingers, so I don't eat a lot of chips. But I do have to pick one flavor, and my wife really likes this flavor, so recently I've kind of gotten into it. Like, she'll pick up some chips and I'll have some here or there. And it was weird enough, I actually went to the store yesterday and I bought a canister of them. And it's actually the Pringles pizza flavor. I don't really think they taste like pizza, but whatever they taste like, I really enjoy it. Last up is to tell you guys about a great trip I took, or my favorite trip. Well, that one's pretty easy. I am a very big homebody. I don't get to go to a lot of places. But every now and then, me and my wife will do something. Kind of like Ed, one of my fondest memories is going to Disney World with my wife for a honeymoon. And that was absolutely amazing. But my favorite trip just tells you how awesome my wife is. Like, a lot of people say, oh, well, I've got an awesome wife, because maybe the wife does things to them in the bedroom. I don't know, because I don't see it to the level that I see it with other people. My wife, that's crazy, I don't know why I just said that. Anyways, my wife really goes above and beyond for me. So much so that our second honeymoon, we had one, I think it was a year after we were married, was actually in Atlanta to go see WrestleMania 27. Can you believe that? My wife actually was willing to go to WrestleMania with me. I've been a lifelong wrestling fan. I did a little bit of, wrestling here. I would hardly call it professional, not because what I was doing wasn't professional. I thought I was wrestling pretty good, but it kind of got backyardish a little bit. I mean, very poor setup. Anyway, let's put that aside. I'm a huge wrestling fan, and the fact that my wife was willing to go to WrestleMania 27 with me, it just meant the world. And that's something I've wanted to do all my life. I mean, growing up as a kid, watching WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, my absolute favorite, when my favorite wrestler of all time, Macho Man, won the tournament, won the championship. To have a chance to actually go was just incredible, and we had ringside seats. She never complained once, even though she's not the biggest wrestling fan. She made the most of it. And actually, the highlight of the night was my wife is a huge Santino Marella fan, and she just thinks he's hilarious, and she loved that he was doing the Cobra. So, Santino, Big Show, Kane, and I can't remember the other person, were in this big 8-man tag match. And after they won, they were all in the ring celebrating, and my wife starts going ballistic in the 10th row, doing Santino's trombone. She is going to town at it. And at that moment, the Big Show taps Santino on the shoulder and points at my wife Lara. And then all of a sudden, Santino starts doing the trombone too. It's incredible. Like, you can actually go back and watch it. I have the Blu-ray here. You can see where Big Show tapped Santino on the shoulder and pointed at Lara. That is so cool and such an amazing memory that I can always look at WrestleMania 27 when I'm watching back from it and remember that trip. Anyways, I've probably gone way too long here. I want to thank Retro Rewinder. Tag! I mean, it's been so long since I've done something like this, and especially Ed for nominating me. I mean, Ed is one of the most connected people on YouTube. Everybody loves Ed, and for good reason. And the fact that he nominated me, that's really cool, Ed. I really appreciate it. Anyways, now I have to nominate 3 people. So I'm going to go a little bit off the map. I was originally thinking like I'd go back to the top 3 Tuesday days and nominate some of those people, but I'm actually going to sway away from that a little bit. I want to nominate 3 channels that are probably some of my favorite channels to watch. They're a little bit smaller, but they do some really good work. They do some excellent reviews, and I love to see more people subscribe and watch them. One of them specifically, he's got a smaller channel, but I think he's like absolutely one of the best. This is the first person I'll mention. I think he's one of the very best video producers on YouTube, and I absolutely love his stuff. So that is Cygnus Destroyer. A lot of people know him better as the LJN Defender. So tag you're it, and everybody go check him out. Like, seriously, he just did Spider-Man Month, which was a month of mini LJN Defender reviews on Spider-Man games on the Game Boy. That was incredible. But my favorite video, and video that finally got me to go back and actually finally finish one of my NES games that I've been dreaming about finishing since I was a kid, was Friday the 13th. So definitely go check that out. The second one is my good friend Mike Tendo. His YouTube name is, channel name is Dongled. Go check him out. He does a series called Dude, You Haven't Played This Game. And I love it. Like, Mike is so talented, so good. he's got this new house he just moved, and I'm just fascinated with the fact that he doesn't even have studio lighting up, but at all times the place looks like it's the most well-lit situation I've ever seen. It looks like a TV studio. Anyways, Mike's videos are excellent. I really enjoy it, so tag you're it too. Last but not least is my good friend, Weekend Game Guy, who right now is in a process of making videos, and he refuses to release them. It's driving me absolutely nuts. I know he's probably got about 10 videos probably done at this time. Now, none of them are classic Weekend Game Guy, which really irritates me, but he's done a lot of Weekend Game Guy After Dark, and videos along those nature, and I love those videos too. So Weekend Game Guy, tag you're it. Get your butt back on YouTube. Anyways, guys, that's it. Go check out Retro Rewinder's original video. I'm going to try to put it in the comments. Also check out Ed where he tagged me. He's got some pretty interesting answers. As always, this is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time.